Money Fight is a grindy PvP server in which you need to fight bosses, complete achievements, and kill those who've wronged you. And this is the full guide for the server. If you are or aren't interested in playing, I'm sure you'll find this video entertaining as I've put a lot of time into it. I'm going to be looking at everything from first joining the server to killing the final boss, Jin. I have timestamps on screen and I've divided the video into chapters to help with specific points in the game if you're stuck at, so feel free to skip around. But welcome to the Overworld. This is the main experience in Money Fight, and here's where you'll have most of your fights and make most of your enemies. The only issue being that you don't have all the unlocks right now. There will be players richer than you that have these unlocks, and they'll kill you mercilessly. And when you die, you lose everything except your gold and your prestiges, so getting your hands on some better unlocks will be a priority. To get these unlocks, you'll have to travel to the 3 other worlds, being the Emerald Mines, the Floating Islands, and the Volcanic Plateau. It is very important to understand that when you unlock a new area, you lose all your gold and prestiges in the overworld, so we'll be trying to rush the unlocks for all 3 of these areas before bothering to progress far in the overworld. But for now, we are stuck in the overworld. Undergeared, and with no other way to turn, we need to start pushing through the hardest part of the game. Generators give money. Money gives gold. Gold gives level. And we need gold level 35 and in excess of 4 gold to ascend. Now, an average new player would place down some generators and get to work, sitting there. But that's not the fastest way. Like in real life, to climb to the top, you have to steal from the rich. Lots of rich players have stock upgrades for their generators, which make them much better than whatever you're using. So, steal. To find a good target, I don't recommend sky bases or anything massive, as the time and return on investment just isn't really worth it. Look for one of these crappy 1-block tall bases with a trapdoor in it. They're free money. Just break their trapdoor and replace it. Then you should have perms to open it and you can just crawl in there. This strategy will work for the majority of the early game. But for now, we're just trying to get 14 gold for a few upgrades. Because our next money-making method will be a little bit more ethical. Pollution! With your newfound gold, buy a factory with the mod factory upgrade, and also get the super money gen upgrade. The factory is the best way to make money until you upgrade stocks, so get used to it. Basically, instead of your generators just spitting out paper onto the ground, it all collects into the factory. Now you can go AFK and pray you don't die, or put down some gens and increase your production. Whenever you have your desired setup, buy some gold to save some progress, and try to focus the PvP upgrades whenever you die. Try and get the explosives prestige, cause you'll need it later. You can buy whatever else, but remember that when you hit gold level 35, you need to have 4 gold spare to afford the ascension. Just having the Ascension unlocked isn't enough to unlock the Emerald Mines. You now have to complete one of the 3 achievements, being Super Factory, Big Guns, or Millionaire. For Millionaire, you need $1 million. Big Guns requires you to buy an RPG and 256 medium bullets, and Super Factory requires you to put 5 super money gens and 5 money gens into a factory, which you've already done. At this point, do not skip ahead to the Emerald Mines just yet. You still have 2 more achievements I want you to do. If you go to the Emerald Mines right now, you'll lose all your prestiges and have to rob from the rich again to get these achievements done. So just continue to grind to 1 million. As soon as you hit 1 million, buy an RPG and 256 medium ammo. This will give you the other 2 achievements you need, and you can finally forget about the overworld. For now. You now have 3 renown, which will unlock the Emerald Mines for you and the Floating Islands. You can go to either, but let's just go in order and take a look at the Emerald Mines first. Welcome to the Emerald Mines. This area is significantly more calm than the hellscape we call the overworld. I want you to quickly take a look at your achievements. You now have 4 new ones. Unlocking every upgrade in the Emerald Mines, which can be done passively. Catching every fish. It's not 20 unique fish, it's every single fish. Killing 10 emerald golems, which you can do whenever they spawn in. And dealing 6.5 damage with an emerald blade in the overworld, which we're going to skip. If you want to go back and grind in the overworld again to get this achievement, be my guest. You can get this one done pretty easily by using a devil book and critting, but screw the overworld, I'm not going back there. This guide does not require you to go back there. Don't go back there, I hate the overworld. Now place down your market. it'll reveal entirely different unlocks and upgrades specific to the emerald mines. We want to focus the upgrades tab as they're permanent, however emerald generation unlocks can still help. To get started, steal from someone away from their gens or if they're AFK, but don't do it very often as you don't want enemies in the emerald mines. It's very small. If they just want to come back and screw you over, they will. Also, have a look at the unlocks tab. Here you can buy permanent unlocks to the overworld. You can get things like a mobile market, better generators, or a better weapon, arguably the best weapon in the game. But you will need Crypt Essence for most of these. Once you unlock combat level 2, it will turn into Vault Hunter for 50k. It's very expensive, but you'll need it for Crypt Essence. Unlocking it will allow you to buy Crypt Keys for 15k each. So while waiting for your gens to generate, I recommend fishing in the meantime. And just while I'm talking about fishing, you need to sell your fish to this trader for it to count as a caught fish. Whenever you can, buy both of the different types of bait and don't buy the prismarine rod because it's useless. For the sake of the guide, I'm just gonna assume that at this point you've already finished catching all your fish. It's unlikely you have, but all you have to do is cast a rod in water, so there's nothing more to go on about. And same thing for killing the 10 golem. Just kill them whenever they spawn in, it'll pop up in chat, and get that done. And oh wow, look at that, your teammate got you that key that you needed. Why do you have a teammate? Well, because good luck doing this next part solo, and I mean it. Join a party with them and make your way into the caves next to the crypt entrance. Once the party leader presses this button while holding a key, you'll be pulled into the crypt. There are 3 main rooms, the boss room, the parkour room, and the ritual room. First, make your way into the ritual room and place down your sacrificial gen in a distinct spot, like a corner. Next, you'll see emerald slugs begin spawning. You'll have to take your sacrificial dagger and kill them so they drop blood. This blood can then be placed onto your sacrificial generators to coagulate it, and it has to be your own generator. Repeat this process up until you get 10 coagulated blood as a team. This will generate a key for you to go into the parkour room. Before you go there, make sure to kill all the extra silverfish that spawn. There's a chance they can drop an iron sword. I forget the name, but it is worth killing them for. Now, make your way into the parkour room. These jumps look really easy, but there's just entirely barriers in the way. The path is always the same, but if you forget, then you can just crouch to the edge, and if you see a barrier outline appear, then don't jump there. Eventually, you'll make your way over to a chest. Right-click it to receive the boss key. Parkour back and use the boss key on the door across from spawn. It'll teleport your entire party that's still alive into the boss room. I'm going to be assuming that you have at least 2 members in your party, as I haven't been able to beat this boss solo, and giving your party members distinct roles makes it significantly easier to manage. More members do give the boss more health, so 2 to 3 members is ideal. In this first phase, the Crypt Prince is invincible, and your goal is to kill the Strider it's riding. The Strider shoots lasers at you, but its slow movement speed gives you ample time to create distance and heal. Here's where your team's roles come into play. You want someone in your party to be the designated trainer. This person will keep aggression and run the boss in circles, while you and the other party members take turns damaging the boss. After you kill the Strider, the Crypt Prince will target the team member closest to him when he dismounts the Strider. But he's still not fully locked in on any person yet. Make sure that the trainer in your party then hits the Crypt Prince to keep aggression on him for the entirety of the fight. Now, all the trainer needs to do is run the boss in circles, while the rest of the party members crits out the Crypt Prince. Try and position yourself behind the Crypt Prince if you're dealing damage, because he has sweeping attacks that swing 180 degrees in front of him that have 2 or 3 blocks of reach. This attack is what makes the boss fight really difficult to master solo, because you need to time going into the boss for hits. When the boss eventually reaches half HP, he'll summon his Greater Steed. This sniffer spits out TNT, which does massive damage when close. The Crypt Prince is invincible again, so just focus on the sniffer. If you're the trainer, I recommend staying back, but in the line of sight of the boss, because if you end up fighting the boss, you'll take a lot of damage and it's just unnecessary. When the sniffer's on half HP, it'll stop spitting out TNT and instead charge around the map randomly. Simultaneously, the Crypt Prince will dismount the sniffer and target the trainer again. During this phase, it's important to not kill the sniffer, as he'll just respawn and you'll need to complete phase 3 again. This phase is pretty much phase 2, but with a sniffer running around. So just repeat the last steps and pay attention for the sniffer, and eventually you'll kill the Crypt Prince. After killing the Crypt Prince, you'll be brought out of the crypt and rewarded with a random amount of Crypt Essence, and there's a chance that you get an Obsidian Skull. Before you leave this area, get Obsidian Skulls for every one of your members. It doesn't matter how many stars it is, just make sure that you all get one because it's required for the Volcanic Plateau. And for the Crypt Essence, I recommend spreading it out throughout your players in your party. Because if one of you dies, then you'll lose the Crypt Essence, so make sure one person's not holding all the Crypt Essence. And if all of you die, then you lose all your Crypt Essence. So as soon as one of you can afford a new unlock, pool your Crypt Essence into that one player and let them buy the unlock, just so you save a little bit of progress as you go. Now here I grind out Emerald Crypts until you unlock everything for you and your party. Except the Piggy Horn. Do not get the Piggy Horn, it's just annoying. I only got it for completion, and I thoroughly regret that decision. But if you have everything, you will be done with the Emerald Mines. If you somehow don't have the Emerald Upgrader achievement, you might need the Emerald Factory upgrade. Type /stats, go to Compendium, and you can see how close you are to getting it. You need to kill Emerald Golems for it. Now, if you've been doing a good job keeping track, you'd know that you have 6 achievements completed, only skipping the Emerald Blade achievement. However, you do need 7 achievements to unlock the Volcanic Plateau. And we are not going back to the Overworld again. I hate that place. But you also know we do have the 3 renowned for the floating islands, so it's time to ascend there. Like always, you'll lose your gold level in the Overworld, but we've just been in the Emerald Mines, so that literally doesn't affect us at all. And we're here in the floating islands. Like clockwork, check your achievements and you'll see that you have 2 new ones. One requires you to have the new generator placed down in the Overworld, and as you know, we're skipping that. Instead, we'll look into getting the Ice Age achievement. As soon as we get that, we can ascend to the final area, but that's still after we complete pretty much the entire world, so sit tight. This new area is slow to progress in, and right now, you're on a spawning island. This means that weirdos will spawn in on your small island and punch you off, so that's fun. You can kill yourself to spawn in on better islands. An example of a bad island would be this one, which is far out in the corner and you need lots of blocks to bridge in. A good island would be this one, where you need so little blocks you can actually just jump to the island without bridging at all. See, the middle island is good because you have more room for all your generators, and you need to be there to eventually progress. Right now, buy some gens and try and unlock Increased Production 1. All the upgrades on this tab will be permanent. And once you unlock this will unlock 2 new upgrades. I'm pretty sure you only need Lucky Star, but you might as well buy all the upgrades here while you're at it. Once you get Lucky Star, it'll start to generate Stardust for you in your generators. This currency is permanent, meaning only purchases will lower the amount you have, not dying. Next, you'll need to buy the unlock for berries and air balloons. Berries are typically placed down in these pots and they'll give you a random amount of aquamarine. But it's entirely a gamble and you can lose money. Because of that, I don't really recommend using them until you get a multiplier, which pretty much guarantees you always make high profit. For now, you don't have a multiplier, so continue to use your gens and upgrade them with Increased Production 2 and Duplication Glitch. Your first goal will be 32 berries and lots of blocks. You can usually find blocks scattered around the Sky Island because they're expensive and you don't want to have to spend money on them. You'll need enough blocks to get to this Sky Island in the middle to talk to the Iceologer. Once you have enough blocks and 32 berries on hand, bridge up. I think you're supposed to use an air balloon to make it up all the way, as you can't place blocks past this limit, but everyone I know block glitches. It's bannable, but I'll go down with the ship. I block glitched up here, my dad block glitched up here, so did my grandpa, and so will you! Block glitch up here! Do it for me! Do it for my grandpa! Anyway, talk to the Iceologer and give him your berries. He'll thank you and give you permission to unlock the Ice Temple. We're gonna work ahead and get everything we need for it right now, just to save some time. Go back down and get 6 balloons. You'll only need 3, but I recommend 2 extra in case you mess up. And also an extra to get back down. You'll also need 30,000 aquamarine to sacrifice to the temple, so get to grinding. Buy upgrades along the way because you'll need them and you'll have to unlock them eventually anyway. Once you have the required amount of aquamarine and the desired amount of balloons, I don't have the script written here for the visuals, but you'll see that you need to go and do some parkour up on these ice particles that are, flying in the air. Then you need to go and make this one jump, across. A quick tip is that when you right click the balloon, it's what sends you up flying. You don't want to jump with it because you'll just kind of slowly fall down, so don't jump when you use the balloon pretty much. And once you make it to the temple, right click to knock on the temple door. It will then fall down. Then, shift right click on the pedestal to unlock Ice Age. Doesn't that sound familiar? Yeah, you need to unlock all the Ice Age unlocks that this will give you. But after that, you're done. So go back down and start unlocking them. You'll need lots of Stardust, which you can AFK for. More importantly, you'll need lots of Aquamarine, because the temple requires another sacrifice. It needs 100,000 Aquamarine to unlock the Trident, and another 50k to buy the Trident. I'm very certain that you need to unlock the Trident to get the Ice Age achievement. I'm not sure if you need to actually purchase the Trident though. The best way to get Aquamarine for this step is multipliers. Place down your gens on this small island, and then make a bridge to this pot and this pot. You can now run back and forth across both of the pots, and every 2 or 3 minutes go and grab your Aquamarine from your generator. Also, while you're here, buy some rubber boots and grind some storm soldiers on the clouds. Again, use /stats and go to Compendium to see your drop rates on specific items. You'll be trying to get the Thunder Disc for the permanent extra Prismarine charge. And once you have all the unlocks, refresh your achievements and you should have Ice Age unlocked. And that's the 7 renown needed for the Volcanic Plateau, the final area. Put on your Obsidian Skull and ascend for the last time. Welcome to the Volcanic Plateau. Honestly, it's my favorite area of the entire game. The boss fights are much simpler than the Emerald Crypts. However, there are 4, so hold your horses. Wow, normal generators again? Great to see it. You'll immediately have to buy some other generators though. Your normal gens are still the main currency, but similar to Stardust, you'll need to use Vulcanite gens to generate currency for the unlocks. This is again permanent. Place down a Vulcanite gen and a Vulcanite processor. The Vulcanite generator produces raw Vulcanite, which then needs to be processed in the processor to get Vulcanite. Now look at the Vulcanite tab. You can see that you can unlock random tier 1 upgrades. It just does what it says. Click on it to buy a random tier 1 upgrade until you have them all. Repeating this for tier 2 is not as easy though. You see, there are several districts that you need to get used to. There are ships that spawn pirates, lava lakes that spawn magma cubes, areas that spawn piglin brutes, mountains that spawn piglins, and hills that spawn hoglins. Each of these mobs drop different items that you need in combination with Vulcanite for random tier 2 unlocks. Need big bacon? Kill some hoglins. Repeat this process again until you unlock all your tier 2 items. All items with a star next to it transfer to the overworld, so look forward to using those across worlds. Once you unlock all the tier 1 unlocks, 3 totems will appear. These will be required for tier 3 unlocks. You'll need Vulcanite, and instead of mob drops, you'll need an elemental essence. You'll need to buy the corresponding totem for your desired essence. Ramah for lightning, Ifrit for fire, and Titan for earth. Next, take the totem to its corresponding altar. The first totem and altar I want to show you is Titan. It's an iron golem. He is significantly easier than the Crypt Prince, and it honestly is kind of disappointing. Just stay 2.5 blocks away and click. It's that easy. He can't reach you, but you can reach him. The next boss is Ramah. It's found at the top of this castle after hookshotting across the lava river. Again, he's very simple to fight. Spam crit him, and whenever you're low, just spam meat. It's just a spider that deals extra damage, so it's easy peasy. And finally, Ifrit. He's hidden below this lava. Use a Vulcanite medallion to swim below it, or just jump down and eat some food. A lot of his attacks you'll have to jump over, so just spam crit him in a corner and you'll dodge his attacks by accident 95% of the time. Grind out these bosses until you unlock all the random tier 3 unlocks, and that would be 75% of the Volcanic Plateau done. There is still more to do. We still need to kill Jin, but for that, we need to go back to the overworld. You see, there's this big part of the game that I neglected to mention: contracts. Contracts give you little rewards here and there, and the higher the gold level you are, the more contracts you unlock. To complete the Volcanic Plateau, you need to unlock the Volcanic Brooch. The Volcanic Brooch is only gained from completing the Heart of the Mountain contract. See, the big issue is that on a standard profile, you need to get gold level 70, and that's a big grind, but I'm here to help. So you're back in the overworld. You have a bunch of new unlocks though that can help, like the Emerald Blade, Emerald Coins, hot air balloons, the hook shot, discount card, and lots more. And again, just like clockwork, you need to get your gold level up. This time, you don't really need to steal from the rich though because of the Emerald Coin upgrade. Level up again and get your factory, your mod factory, and your super money gen. Also, in the Emerald Mines from killing Emerald Golems, you unlock the Emerald Factory upgrade. The cost of this is $125,000. It's really expensive, but it boosts your money generation per tick greatly. Also, I want to introduce you to the Wandering Trader. This guy is crazy. He can sell you something called a factory upgrade engine. Factories generate on 3.5 second intervals, but this reduces it to 3-second intervals. The trader can also sell you tarot cards. These are massive for late game. Each tarot card gives you its own unique ability. I recommend getting the Joker Prestige so you can store these cards pretty easily. Some of these tarot card abilities can give you more money, spawn horses, teleport you somewhere random, etc. I really recommend looking into them. I'm throwing a bunch on screen right now. The best ones for money right now will be the Hermit, Artist, the High Priestess, and Reverse Temperance. And again, gold 70 is a massive grind. So right now, try and get to gold level 32. It unlocks another contract. Gold level 32 will unlock the Blaze Powder contract in the Volcanic Plateau. Completing this contract will give you the Magnet. The magnet will suction in all the paper near you and give you 25% on top of your current multiplier. So pair the magnet and some generators with your factory to get money much faster. See, the magnet still isn't good enough yet. See, your generators are still pretty bad, and we want to look into getting some stock upgrades. When you hit gold level 60, you'll unlock the stock market. This is your big ticket into the rich life. There are 3 paths: the gen stock, the steam stock, and hog monopoly. The best money-making one is the gen stock. However, steam stock is easier and you don't need to defend your gens from the homeless community. I personally recommend the gen stock because killing some hobos isn't very difficult and the speed at which you get money is definitely worth it. You can enchant your gens with enchant stones, which you can buy from the trader, illuminate them with prismarine crystals, you can boost them from Wheel of Fortune tarot cards, and even make them lucky using lucky seeds by completing the Tourmaline contract. A combination of all these makes gens so efficient. These last 10 levels are difficult, especially as you're trying to level up the stock market and get everything done. But with a good team and high level stocks, you can fly through it and get to level 70 to finally unlock the Heart of the Mountain contract. When you start this contract, it requires you to get 100 Hearts of the Mountain, which sounds easy, but then you realize it's a 1% drop. Which sounds easy, but then you realize you need to get the drop from volcanic gens. And these gens are expensive, so this contract will take several hours to complete. Once you finally AFK it, you'll be rewarded with the volcanic brooch. And this is endgame. Take the volcanic brooch over to the NPC under the mountain. He wants you to show him 200 vulcanite. You don't even need to give it to him, he just wants to see that you have it. Then he'll give you access to buy a teleport pad. This is required to fight Jin. Before fighting Jin, I highly recommend a hookshot, meat, and a shield. These will help you a lot throughout the fight. But once you're ready, tower up to the floating island in the middle, similar to when you tower up to the Iceologer. Look down at the middle and use your teleport pad. It'll teleport you into Jin's boss room. Make your way over to the portal and step into it, holding out your hookshot. If you don't have one, you'll take a lot of damage and need to heal instantly. The boss fight starts right away. Parkour your way up to Jin and start whacking him. Use your shield in between hits to prevent yourself from getting knocked off. He has a few different attacks, but they really don't matter. Just beat him up until he dies. When he's dead, he'll drop 2 Shadow Essence and a chance to drop a Shade Rod. At this point, return to the NPC because he's opened up a new shop for you. This shop is called the Crucible. You'll need to trade specific items to the NPC for these unlocks. It's like obsidian. Obsidian will drop from withered soldiers. He'll also ask for crimson logs, which will drop from imps on the Crimson Island. Impwings can also drop from imps, and they're very useful as they give you 5 seconds of creative flight with only a cooldown of 60 seconds. You can grind Impwings before getting the volcanic brooch, but you might as well just grind them now as you need to go and get the crimson right now. When you give him the items, the unlocks will be put on a timer to craft. You can speed up the crafts by 0.5% for a vulcanite. It usually takes about 600 vulcanite to bring the craft down to 5 minutes, and at that point it's just worth to wait as 0.5% of 5 minutes is a very small number. But that's it, that's the end of the game. craft the rest of the items you need, and then go back to the overworld. We just went through the overworld twice, beat the Crypt Prince, pleased the Iceologer, killed Rama, Ifrit, and Titan, and we went in for round 2 to kill Jin. This is all on a PvP server, so throughout your journey, there will be hiccups, and there will be moments where you feel on top of the world. If you're interested in playing and you see me on the server, say hi. This wasn't sponsored or anything, I just truly love the server, and I know it can go places. There's still more that I couldn't even show due to relevancy, mainly contracts, accessories, and some of the prestiges, so there's still lots for you to learn. Thank you so much for watching. This was different from my usual content, so if you enjoyed,
if I could fucking roast the shit out of Archer, bro, I would call him every single fucking word on the English dictionary I fucking know, bro.